Hey guys, welcome back to the Shire, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rebecca and I'm a stay-at-home mom and an online reseller on a multitude of platforms. Today's video is going to be a what's sold in the first 2 weeks of February of 2022. Now before we get started, I want to address two different things. One, I just got a ring light a few weeks ago, or like 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to use it for this video, but I'm still figuring out how to let it light up my face without giving me weird alien eyes on my glasses. So bear with me. I'm going to try to keep my head turned this way so that's not happening. And of course I'm always going to be looking down at my computer as I usually do my what's sold, so I have the correct information to tell you. And if you have tips for people with glasses and ring lights, please give me all the tips because I don't know, it's kind of a pain in the butt right now. The other thing is I am still in my office. I've mentioned before that my office is half my office and half a playroom toy storage room. I'm in just a different angle today, so you can see the whole playroom toy storage area behind me, my little photographing wall up here. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know how that kind of incorporates when I take pictures. If you don't follow me, you can check me out on Instagram at TheCozyShire. So hopefully none of those things are too terribly distracting for you today, and we can just get into the video. So my goal for February 2022 was the same as it was for January of 2022. And that was that I basically wanted to sell as many items in the month as there were days of the month. So I believe January had 31 days and I sold 32 items. So for February 1st to the 14th, I wanted to sell 14 items. I ended up selling 16 items. And 8 of them, so 50% of them, were items from my death pile. So if nothing else, that should be a little bit of an incentive to list your death piles. It's not bad to have a little bit of backstock, but I mean, 50% is a lot. So if I hadn't listed those items from my death pile, I'd have, a lot less sales. I'd have only 8 sales instead of 16. My highest performing platform for this 2 weeks was actually Poshmark. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with Poshmark right now, and this was before all of that happened. But Poshmark actually hasn't been performing that well for me in the past. It's usually like maybe number 2 or 3. I'm not really sure why. It might have something to do with that I was listing more hard goods, but I've actually had a few hard goods sell over there too. So I don't know exactly why, but 7 of my items sold on Poshmark. That was 43.75% of my sales. So that's a big chunk. Then 5 of my sales came from eBay, which was 31.25% of my total sales. I only had 2 Facebook Marketplace sales. I don't know, Facebook's been slow for me lately, but typically it performs a lot better. And usually I think it's hard goods that typically sell for me over there. But they only accounted for 12.5% of my sales. And then I had 1 sale each on Kidizen and Curtsy, so they each accounted for 6.25% of my sales. And I had 0 Mercari sales, which is also quite unusual. I feel like Mercari typically falls in like place 3 or 4. I had nothing. I had no sales. So I don't know what's happening over there either. Maybe my stuff's priced too high or something. I don't know. Usually my Mercari sales are offers that people send to me, so I haven't gotten really any offers. I haven't been declining anything. I just haven't been getting any. My gross sales for those first 2 weeks of February was $600.85. My total fees was $163.73. Now I don't do free shipping except for on Kidizen and very rarely on like Mercari, or if there's another platform that like doesn't have a media mail option, I'll do free shipping. That way I can ship it at the cheaper media mail rate. So those fees typically don't include shipping because it's, except for the eBay shipping, which is worked into my gross sales price. And it's a little bit confusing, but if you have more questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. My net profit before taxes, so that's taking out my cost of goods, if there were any shipping fees and the platform fees, was $424.62. That is really high for me, and once I start going through the sales, I think you'll know why. Alright, so I just slid to the side a bit so I can show you pictures of the items that have sold. The first item didn't sell until February 3rd. So those first 2 days of February, I was a little bit nervous that we weren't starting the month off very well, but I actually think the same thing happened in January. I think my first sale was like the 3rd. So I don't know, something about those first 2 days of the month, people don't want to buy stuff from me. So my first sale was on the 3rd, and it was this pair of women's Converse. They were called like the extra tall or extra high black monochrome. I don't know if you call them sneakers. They're Converse. Everyone knows what a Converse is. So these like were knee high, and they zipped up the back, laced the whole way up the front. They were completely black, and they were a men's size 5 and a women's size 7. I believe I listed these in the women's market. When I have an item that's like unisex like this, honestly, I usually list it in the men's, but I will check solds and see which category, something like this, that's more of like, there are other solds, it's not a super unique item. I'll see which market, men's, women's, which one it's sold in, and then list mine in that one, whichever one was more common, because obviously that's where the people are looking for it the most. So I did list this in the women's market, and also this is a men's size 5, so aside from the style, I don't know if that many men want to wear knee-high sneakers, and also there probably aren't that many men out there that wear a size 5. 7 is still a smaller side for women, but more common. So anyway, these sold for my full asking price, which was $150. And I knew that was a high price, but when I was looking on eBay, that's what the comps were showing. So that's what I listed them at. And they took 17 days to sell. I had gotten an offer early on. They're like, would you take 80? I was like, no. I mean, if someone had offered me like 120, I probably would have taken it. But 80 was way lower. So Poshmark did take their $30 fees, and then my net profit was $120 because I didn't pay anything for these. These actually came from a family member, and these were in one of my death pile items. So if you are not familiar with my death pile series, you can go back and watch that, and that'll give you a little bit more backstory about where some of these items are coming from. But I had no cost of goods into them, and yeah, so that was an amazing way to start the month off. Our next item was also a death pile sale, or death pile item. This was a vintage Fieldmaster Outdoorsman Woodland Buck Deer Blue Crewneck Sweatshirt XXL. And this also sold on the 3rd. This one actually sold over on Kidizen, which is a platform where you can sell women's and children's clothing and items, if you're not familiar with the platform. And it's kind of weird. I don't know why it sold over there, to be honest. I'd understand it more, I think, if someone like bundled some children's clothing or something with it, but I mean, I'll take the sales no matter where they come from. So this was from my death pile, and if you can tell in the pictures, it has like, I think it's like sun fading. I think it must have been folded and then like left somewhere where the sun was hitting it, because I didn't notice it when I picked it up, and I didn't notice it when I was doing it in my death pile haul. But when I started to photograph it, there's like these lines like right across the middle on the front and back and a little bit on the sleeves where it's just like slightly discolored. But this was a size XXL, and I grabbed it from a yard sale for 47 cents, and it sold for $23, and because it was Kidizen, that was free shipping. So I ended up making $10.90, and that only took 2 days to sell. And on Kidizen, they can't send you an offer. A buyer can't send you an offer. So I always send out offers when someone puts something in their cart. And I gave it like a decent offer on this one. I want to say it was originally listed at like probably 30, and then I probably had some sale running, so it was like 28, and I offered 23. Because I really just wanted to get this one moved. Whenever I have a flawed item, I want to get it gone as soon as I can, without losing money, of course. Moving on to February 4th, I had 5 sales, and that is a lot for me in one day. I remembered like a lot of these coming in the evening, and I was just like, there's like one sale over here, and trying to not get things messed up. But I wish I had more of that. That would be nice to have that many sales that often. But this first one was a Facebook Marketplace sale, and it was this set, a lot of 3 of brand new Better Homes and Gardens and Perfect Harvest wax cube melts. So they're for those like wax warmers. And I grabbed these at a yard sale, the same one from that sweatshirt actually. And I grabbed them for 47 cents, did just an average cost of goods and everything from that yard sale. And they sold for $6, and I made $4.90, and they took 65 days to sell on Facebook. I would not pick these up again. I picked them up because they were new and I thought I could lot them together like I did, and I mean it worked, but maybe I would do it if they were like Scentsy branded or something. But Better Homes and Gardens, I'm pretty sure it's just from Walmart. I don't know. Perfect Harvest is probably also from Walmart, and they were all different like scents. So maybe if it was like a higher brand like Scentsy and they were all like a 3-pack or a lot of 3 of the same scent that someone really enjoyed, that might have been an easier sell. The next item to sell was over on eBay, and it was this pair of Joe B women's black and white pattern lightweight pants swim cover up size small. These sold for $10, and that was before shipping, so they paid shipping on the top of that. I had $1 into them from a yard sale, and I profited $7.94, and they took 608 days. So I believe there's a brand of jeans called Joe's Jeans, which I think can do well. I got these way back when I started reselling, like my first summer. And back then, so I'm behind on technology just a little bit. Back then, I didn't have any data. So I couldn't look anything up unless I was connected to Wi-Fi, which of course when you're at yard sales, you're not connected to Wi-Fi. So I had to just kind of take guesses on most of my stuff, and this was one of them. And I probably saw Joe B and was like, I think that rings a bell. Like maybe someone said that was something decent, and it was $1, so I grabbed it. No, I don't even know where these are sold. They're not really worth much of anything. These are like super lightweight pants. Like nowadays, like I would have known just by the quality, but you know, I marked that these could be like a swim cover up kind of type pant. I don't know. The person who bought them left a review, so they loved them, but definitely would not pick up again. The next 2 sales were over on Poshmark. The first one was this pair of Fair Trade Republica Gray Handmade 100% Alpaca Fingerless Gloves. This was another death pile item, and these were a personal item that I've had since, oh my gosh, 6 years maybe. Once again, they're in my death pile videos. You can go back and hear my whole sob story about those, but I listed them for $25 and someone offered me $18. I think it was on a closet clear out day. I feel like I offered $20 and they asked if I would do $18, which I said was fine. I had no cost of goods into them. And I profited $14.40, and they only took 2 weeks to sell, so 14 days. The next Poshmark sale was a hard good. This was a vintage Scrabble game, but it was like this RSVP, like a 3D Scrabble. My parents found it at a yard sale. It was completely still sealed in plastic and everything. And you know, they called me and asked if I wanted it. It's from the 60s. So it was $3 and I sent out an offer for $20. I believe I had it listed at $25. Someone asked if I would do $15 and I countered back at $20. So they took the $20 offer. I made $13 and that was listed for 59 days. So right about 2 months. And this was in my like hard goods death pile, which you guys didn't see, but I did that prior to all my clothing death pile items. I would probably pick this up again if I found it. I mean, it took a little longer to sell, but I don't know. I like sealed board games. They're really easy to ship too. The last sale from that day was, I had mentioned this I think on my Instagram as well. I posted on Instagram that if you're not familiar with Lori Tata, she does Lori's Boston Found on YouTube. She's just another reseller who, she has this phrase about, I think I mentioned it in another video too. It's one of those By Felicia pieces where you're like, I don't even care what this sells for as long as I don't lose money. I just want it gone. Like, somebody please just buy it. That was this item. It was a white stag, white crisscross cardigan with bell sleeve. It was a size medium, 8/10. no idea where this is from. I don't really know White Stag. Maybe that was like a JCPenney brand or something. I'm not sure. This was definitely an old piece and not like a super cool vintage old piece. It was just like an old piece. Grabbed it from the bins right when I started reselling, and I think I picked it up because, you know, maybe I heard somewhere someone said bell sleeves. Those were coming back, so, you know, this had bell sleeves, so I bought it. Don't do that. It was not a good plan, but I only had $1.26 into it. Someone on Curtsy bought it for $8. I made an astounding $3.74, and it took 723 days to sell. So don't buy these. I don't know. I wouldn't buy these today. I don't know. I guess it was kind of cool, but just don't do it. Our next sale was on February 6th. I sold this, it was a sealed DVD collection set of the Bring It On movies. It was called the Bring It On Cheerbook Collection. I have no cost of goods into this one. This is also why I like trying to sell like my own things or things people give me, because it really balances out your cost of goods. You know, if you have a couple items in there where, you know, you didn't pay anything for them. I had received this as a gift years ago, like a Christmas gift or something, and then I'm pretty sure every time I wanted to watch a Bring It On movie, like in college, it was just on Netflix. I never even broke the seal on this. So someone on Facebook Marketplace bought this outright for the $12 that it was listed for. I made $11.18, and that took 79 days to sell. On February 7th, I had two sales. The first one was an eBay sale for this new Rayovac Sharp ViewCam lithium-ion camcorder battery for a mini DV High 8. I picked this up at a yard sale for 50 cents. It was still new, like sealed and packaged. Someone bought it outright for $25 plus shipping. I made $21.72, and that took 63 days to sell. Now, I actually just got a message from this buyer yesterday, and he said that it was not properly holding the charge. It was only lasting for like 5 minutes. So this is, and he asked if there was like one that would have longer life that he could exchange it for, probably assuming I was a store or something. This item was from like Radio Shack, like the barcode was Radio Shack, so that right there gives you an idea of how old it was. And I think the plastic was like starting to yellow just a little bit, but it was still sealed. It had never been opened, and that's why I grabbed it from this yard sale for 50 cents. So, you know, I told him, you know, I was like, I don't have any more of these, but I asked him if it would be sufficient if I gave him a partial refund, and that way he could put that money towards a new battery. So he had to pay shipping on this item initially, which was like $5.10, I think. And I didn't want him to return it. So I do accept returns, but he'd have to pay return shipping, which first off, I'm sure he didn't want to do. Second, I don't want it back. Like if it doesn't work right, I don't want it. And I only had 50 cents into it. So I refunded him 50% of the purchase price. So the purchase price was $25. I refunded him $12.50. I don't know if that was the right move or not. I was trying to use good customer service. He was very polite. I was like, I'm not going to refund for the shipping or fees that he had to pay. Because I think that is part of like when you buy something online, especially something for like a camcorder that they don't even make anymore. I mean, it's kind of like the risk you run. So I didn't want to like just leave him out, you know, leave him out cold and be like, oh, sorry, it doesn't work, but you bought it and you can return it if you want and make him pay return shipping for something I don't want. I didn't want to go through all that. So I think it's just that way batteries are. When they get old, I think they just don't hold their charge as well. So I probably won't be picking up batteries in the future that are older. And I also, I mean, like I said, the packaging was like slightly yellowing. I would not pick up something that had that. I don't know if this was like exposed to the elements a little bit or something. I don't know. Everything looked fine on it, but that's how that case kind of got resolved. I sent him a partial refund. I haven't heard anything back yet. I haven't gotten any reviews or anything like that from him yet. So, or I'm just saying him. I don't know if the buyer was a him or a her. I don't know. I don't know who it was. But let me know what you would have done. Do you think I should have refunded him more or give him a full refund? Got the item back? I don't know. It was kind of a tricky thing. I didn't really know quite what to do there. So let me know what you would have done. The other item that sold from that day was this vintage will hold red plastic manufacturing sewing box with notions lot. So once again, no cost of goods into this. This was from my grandparents, and it was in my, I guess it wasn't really in my death pile necessarily, but I listed it really recently. And Will Hold is, I think, a pretty well-known brand for like these older vintage sewing boxes. They made a lot of different types of them that I saw on eBay when I was looking up comps. And then we just had all these like vintage, we call them notions. So there was like elastic and different threads and all kinds of things like that were still new in package, a lot of them. Some of them weren't, but most of them were still, I mean, they were definitely vintage. They have vintage like price stickers and everything on them. So I just included it all in a lot, and somebody bought that outright for $40 plus shipping. This thing was a little bit of a pain to ship. It wasn't a big deal, obviously harder than like clothes or something, but I ended up just putting all of the like notions in one of my small poly bags, and then I put that inside of the box, and there was like a tray in it, so I just made sure it wasn't like rattling around, and then I just like bubble wrapped a bunch, because it's plastic, I didn't want it to crack or anything. So I bubble wrapped that a whole bunch, and it seemed to have gotten to the person just fine. My profit off that was actually $40.17 due to a difference in shipping. I'm not sure. I know it cost me $12.65 to ship. I can't remember if I shipped that UPS or through the post office, but yeah, so I actually made like 17 cents more than the initial price, and it took 178 days to sell. On February 9th, we also had 2 sales. The first one was another eBay sale, and it was this Vince Camuto gray floral print zipper back half sleeve dress in a size 12, fit and flare style. I got this at a yard sale for 89 cents. And this one did go to my clothing death pile. This is one of the first things that I actually listed. I think it had like a small stain somewhere that I'm pretty sure I like treated it and it came out in the wash. When I went to photograph it, I couldn't find anything. So either it blended in really well, or I don't know, or I don't know what happened to it. Maybe I just thought there was a stain and there wasn't. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, it sold on eBay for $20, and this fit, I think, in a padded flat rate. Or, no, this actually fit in, not the padded flat rate, but the actual, like, the more cardboard flat rate envelope. Because this was the first time I've ever had to use one of those envelopes. I know a lot of people can shove things in there. Most of my stuff is either lighter than a pound or big enough that it doesn't fit in there, so I don't know. I was a little bit excited that I got to use a different envelope, but my net profit on that was $16.79, and it took 77 days to sell. I would probably not pick up Vince Camuto in the future. If you saw my other what solds, there was a pair of heels that I had by Vince Camuto. I think it was another one of those things where I thought I heard Vince Camuto was a really good brand, and I think it's an okay brand, but the really good brand is just Vince, not Vince Camuto. So, you know, you live and you learn, and you get data, so you can look stuff up at yard sales. The next sale from February 9th was on Poshmark. It was this Pampered Chef cookie press in original box. This was a yard sale pickup that my parents had found, and it was $4. If I remember correctly, they didn't actually consult me on this one. They just thought that I would want it. I don't think I would have paid $4 for it in the wild on my own. Pampered Chef is kind of hard. I kind of talked about this in another video, but I think there's just a lot of Pampered Chef out there because they do like the Pampered Chef parties and everything. A lot of people have bought things, so they tend to take a while, and they're just like oversaturated for the most part in the market. And maybe that's why this sold on Poshmark instead of eBay. I'm not sure. It did sell for $20, which was the full asking price, and I made $12. It took 197 days to sell. And this was, I think it was used. Yeah, I had it marked as like new condition. I think they had used like 1 or 2 of the discs in it, but it was very, very clean. Box had some damage, which I noted in the description, but so I send out offers as soon as I see that someone's liked something, almost every time. And I saw that someone had liked this, and I sent them an $18 offer. Like, it was probably less than a minute. It was like, you know, however many seconds ago this person liked this item. Sent them an $18 offer. I guess they didn't see that. They must have just saw the item and chose to purchase it. And lucky for me, they just purchased it at the $20 before they ever saw my $18 offer. And I gotta be more careful. I gotta at least give them a few minutes to make that full price purchase so I don't screw myself over. Our next 2 items to sell were on February 10th. It seems like a lot of my sales are coming like 2 in a day and then nothing and then 2 in a day, so I don't know. But February 10th, 2 sales. The first one was this vintage set of 4 6-inch woven wood parquet bowls, boho natural minimalist. I'm trying to add all the keywords in there. This sold on Poshmark, and these were like kind of really warped or wonky. I don't know if they're supposed to be like that. I don't know if they were like bamboo or what type of wood they were. I didn't put bamboo in there because I didn't know. I thought bamboo was like a lighter colored wood, unless these were stained or something. I don't know. But actually the woman in her review said that they were bamboo, so maybe she knows better than I do. But I think these were probably from like, I want to say like the 60s or 70s. These were from my grandparents, so no cost of goods into them. Someone bought them outright for $12. My net profit was $9.05, and that was actually from an Instagram viewer, I believe. So if you're watching my video, thank you so much for your purchase. And those took 2 weeks to sell. The other sale on February 10th was an eBay sale. It was this pair of vintage Levi's slender bootcut 526 jeans, medium wash, size 8 medium. And no cost of goods because these were my personal pants before. Why does that sound weird? Personal pants? I don't know. This was a personal item from my closet, and I listed them for $18. Someone bought them outright, so I made $15.14, and they took 9 days to sell. I don't think I knew that they were vintage when I did my death pile haul of them. I had to look back, but just when I was like looking at them, when I was taking pictures, it appeared that they were vintage. So whether they were or not, they sold. My last 2 sales out of this 2-week segment of February were both on February 11th. And the first one was a Poshmark sale. It was this pair of Timberland Pro black gravel pit mining boot 10-inch. They were a men's size 8M, and I had no cost of goods into these. This is just another item that I owned. It was from my death pile haul, so you can go hear the whole story, but these were mine, and these ended up being like $230 some new, I believe, when I looked it up. I didn't purchase them the first time. They were given to me for a job. So I listed them at $150, and within 26 days, someone on Poshmark offered me $127. And I could not click accept fast enough. I mean, that was more than the offers I was sending out, I think. So I was more than happy to accept that offer. And when I went to ship these ended up being like a 7-pound package, 7 or 8 pounds, because these were really heavy boots. So the boots just themselves were just over 6 pounds. And I don't know if I really thought about that when I listed them, but given that there was no cost of goods and they were listed very high, I figured it would all work out just fine, which it did. My net profit was $92.60. And between these and those Converse from the beginning of the month, I think those are the 2 reasons why my numbers are so high this month for me. I would not expect to see that in the future. I mean, I hope I find more items like this, but I mean, 1 item was just given to me and 1 item was mine. So, that doesn't usually happen. But I do like to look out for like shoes like these where they're like work boots or work shoes. Those usually do pretty well if they're in good condition. The last item for our 2 weeks was another Poshmark sale. And it was this pair of Carhartt overalls. They were the rugged flex relaxed fit canvas bib overalls, and they were in a size 34 by 32. These were from a yard sale. I had 91 cents into them, which is an average cost of goods, and they had a bunch of staining on the front. It wasn't like really dark staining, but it's definitely like grease stains or something like that. But they didn't have any like holes or rips or anything like that on them. They were in good condition other than just the stains, which I think most people wearing overalls, most people wearing Carhartts are probably going to stain them because they're work clothes. So I listed them at $50, and within the day, or it says it took 1 day to sell, so probably the next day I guess it was closet clear out, and someone had sent me an offer for $30. I counted at 40, he came up to 35, and then I just sent him a message. I said, hey, it's closet clear out. If you'll take the $40, I can lower the listing price and you'll get discounted shipping. And he was very happy to do that. And I cannot remember what state these went to, but I do keep track of my states. Was it Nebraska? I feel like it might have been like Nebraska. But I keep track of how many items I ship to what states and countries. And that was one that I hadn't shipped to before, whatever state it was. I feel like it was Nebraska. I have 2 more states in the US to ship to. And I can't remember what they are. I'll put them here. Not to look it up. But I have 2 more states. I've shipped 1 thing to Canada. That's my only international sale. But I don't know, it's kind of like just a fun thing to see if I can ship to every state in the US. So I ended up making $31.09 on those overalls. I have another pair of Carhartt pants that are not overalls that are also listed, same kind of condition, just with stains. Those ones haven't gotten as much interest yet, so we'll have to see. So those were all of my sales for the first 2 weeks of February 2022. I am doing every 2 weeks for what sold videos right now, kind of per viewer request. And I think it's nicer to have a little bit of shorter videos. I know I'm still really chatty, so this is probably still a longer video. But I don't particularly think going down to once a week would be a great idea, because I don't think I'm going to make enough sales to make it that interesting. But you let me know if you'd rather do once a week or once every 2 weeks, what works best for you guys, what you want to see. And if you did enjoy this video, please click the like button and go ahead and subscribe so you know when I post more what sold videos and other videos that I'll be doing on my channel. And you can hit the bell notification so it lets you know when a new video is posted. You can also follow me over on Instagram at TheCozyShire, or any of my platforms also at TheCozyShire. And you can see the items I have listed, and I just like to interact on Instagram throughout the day, different things I'm doing, and kind of get to interact and talk to you guys more over there. I will be having another death pile video coming out in just a couple days that I'll be filming right after I finish filming this video. So I would love to have you see those videos, and you can watch all the other death pile videos. They're all in a playlist here on my channel, and I will see you in the next one.